Hey guys, I'm Trajeck and welcome to my video review of Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Bumblebee, or whatever they're calling him now. I think it's High Octane Bumblebee, whatever this old Camaro version is. And it's from the fourth Transformers movie, Age of Extinction, also known as Pile of Crap. But hey, you know, whatever. It's fairly movie accurate though, I'll give it that. It's got some okay detailing. I'll go ahead and just jump right into that. There on the grill, it's got a little bit of molded detailing. Focus on there. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's nothing fancy. There it is. See, it's okay. It's okay. The wheels, a little bit. They do roll. Hey, it's got that going for it. It does what a car is supposed to do. It rolls. Fascinating. Now, there is a little bit of detailing here on the inside of the doors, mainly the speakers, and it's okay, but I would have much preferred having the good amount of detail put elsewhere instead of the inside the door. But hey, who might complain? I am just a loyal fan and customer. That's about it for details, really. Paint apps. There's some yellow there around the front grille, and yellow Autobot symbol. And then another yellow Autobot symbol, and then just some, you know, yellow on the spoiler. Nothing fancy. It's got some panel lines here on the hood, but the way it transforms, that can't really be helped. But, you know, better engineering, but then again, you can't really improve on the 30th Bumblebee. It's that kind of running out of ideas, I'm sure. Now, here he is next to some of his fellow Autobot buddies, if you can even call them that. Drift and Crosshairs. Yeah, he scales okay, I guess. Crosshairs is a little big, though, so, I mean, you can see that. It's a little big. And then he scales pretty well with Drift in vehicle mode. It's about right. He's probably the smallest in vehicle mode, but I mean it's close enough, as you can see there. It doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, there's some kibble underneath. It's not a huge issue. You can see his feet and his hands and his missile and his baby blues that are staring right into my soul, saying all of the sins that I have committed, both past and future. Stop judging me, Bumblebee. Stop it, please. But I mean, of course it's like that anyway, so you're not going to notice that kind of stuff, so, you know, whatever. Though through the completely transparent windshield and windows, you can see some robot parts, but it's nothing glaringly obvious. Doesn't give away that it's Transformer if the Autobot symbol and panel lines didn't already. But, you know, hey, whatever. It's just a toy. And, like, you know, it's another Bumblebee, and I'm kind of not giving my all for this review because it's another Bumblebee. This is so many Bumblebees we've had now, and I really don't care much for this figure, but it is decent, I'll give it that. It's just because it's another Bumblebee that I'm just kind of like, I'm drained physically, emotionally, and monetarily. My wallet is crying because I bought another Bumblebee. Why? Why would I do that, me? Why? But that's it for the vehicle mode. Alright, and here we have Bumblebee in his robot mode. Now, his robot mode is scrawny, very scrawny. As you can see, his legs are very thin, mostly hollow back there. You can see through parts of his legs. His ankles are chicken-like and skinny, and his arms are on weird ratchet joints and hinge joints, so it's hard to get them posed correctly. And his head's kind of at a weird angle because if you had it flush with his neck, it would be looking down. So you have to have him look up. And then he has this weird backpack behind him with these floppy wings. So the robot mode, especially with this weird push-to-fire missile launcher that you can't remove, it's a very mediocre robot mode. Though granted, it is a deluxe class movie figure, and it's another Bumblebee, so like I was saying, they kind of run out of ideas with these guys after a while. Or at least I can imagine so. And yeah, so it's very mediocre. Very mediocre, the robot mode. But then again, it's a Deluxe class. It's not expensive, so I mean, if this were like a Voyager class and it was this quality, I'd be really disappointed. But like I said, it's a Deluxe class. I mean, I don't expect greatness, but when I get it, I'm thoroughly surprised. And this is not one of those times that I am surprised. This is absolutely nothing special, but it's somewhat movie accurate again. Because, I mean, in the movie, at least in this mode, in this version of his vehicle mode, Bumblebee looked like a piece of junk, and that's what this figure looks like in this robot mode. It is a piece of junk. Let me further elaborate on the scrawniness and bad joints. Alright, so these right here, I believe they call them, what do they call them now? Universal joints or whatever? It's been a while since I've been in the reviewing game. So it can pivot, and then it can, not pivot, it can rotate, and then it can spin out as well, rotate out. It's on a ratchet joint. Now Bumblebee has ratchet joints, which I like. That's good for posability, except he only has a couple of them. So like this joint, it's okay, but some of these, like his feet, they're either really tight or really loose. Like this is very loose on mine. The hinges on his shoulders are extremely loose on mine. Like that's nothing, it's just floppy. But you can get some decent poses there in the thighs. Oh, there's some mid-thigh swivel, as well as bending there. I guess that's what you would call his knee. It's really oddly placed, and then he has it again here, but that's due to transformation and only bends forwards. And a little bit in his foot. It's nothing great, really. It's not. It's really standard. Now the arms, that's what disappoints me. Now you can see in there, right in there, there's a hinge that it swings on. That's kind of loose. And there in the shoulder, there's a ratchet joint, which is very tight. So it's very difficult to get that ratchet joint to move. Because the hinge joint, it wants to move around when you're trying to move the ratchet joint. So you have to get it out and hold it weird places and then bend it, and then it just still doesn't really work, and it's annoying, and I don't like it. And come on, buddy. Just, there we go, got it. So it has that. So you can move, and then these things get caught up in it, and it's, you know, that's a whole other story. Elbow rotation, ratchet joint there. At least it has a ratchet joint there. I wish there were one in the second shoulder joint instead of a hinge. That would have been much nicer. The neck, it just rotates. It's a ball joint, but there's a lot of plastic in the way, so it's really not a whole lot of range of motion there. Not as much as I would have liked, at least. But yeah, this is it's a mediocre figure. It really is. And then, yeah, this fires. Yay! It's not that fantastic. I like push the fire missiles, but not ones that are this gaudy and just painful to look at. That's not pretty. That's not a pretty cannon. Bumblebee didn't walk around with a giant, I guess what it would realistically scale to about a 10-foot missile on his arm. He did not have that. He did not. But he still has those pretty blue eyes staring into my soul. Yes, Bumblebee, I know you see my sins. I know it. But, I mean, there's really no point on dwelling on the negatives of this. There is some detailing, which I like. There in the waist. Some paint apps would have made it a lot nicer. Yes, I could have gone in and painted it myself, but then again, this figure I don't really feel is worth it. There in the forearm, a little bit, just a little bit. There's some nice little gear detailing down in there. If there had been a lot more of that throughout, I probably would have liked this figure a lot more than I do. As far as, that's about it for detailing besides the face. He has that really, you know, creepy Bumblebee detailing there on the face. Let me see if I can get in closer and show you. Alright, so yeah, now you can see it there on his face. It's that creepy Bumblebee face that, I mean, it's movie accurate, it is, but it doesn't really look like that good old Bumblebee that I love. Yeah. But hey, whatever. Now for some size comparison, I switched out Drift for a different Autobot. We have Crosshairs and then Optimus now, just so I can get a better idea of how he scales with other class figures in his robot mode, because that's where it's most important, because I really don't display Transformers in their alternate modes that often. So he's about the same height as Crosshair. It's just a smidge taller, mainly because of his backpack. So you can see there, it's just barely. My hands lying pretty much flush on their heads. So he's just maybe half an inch taller because of his backpack. Then Optimus, it's a decent scaling. I would have preferred if Bumblebee were maybe, I don't know, a little bit smaller in robot mode, a little bit less lanky in the legs, a little bit more bulk all around instead of just on his backpack. So yeah. No, I know I said I didn't really want to focus on any more negatives, but I just have to show the backpack. It's just a bunch of junk. It's the roof of the car, the entire roof of the car right there, just barely collapsed. You've got the rear bumper there, and then the doors there. And it's not that great. It's big, it's bulky, and other than that, the figure is really skinny and tiny, and a lot of the figure went to that. And it's not even like really sturdy, strong plastic. It feels cheap. It feels cheaper than a lot of third-party figures feel, and that's pretty bad, because there's some pretty bad feeling third-party figures out there in quality plastic. This isn't that great. But hey, whatever. It's a movie figure. It's an Age of Extinction figure. I'm probably going to get rid of this guy soon. I just got him before the movie came out, and then, yeah, I hoped I would like him more than I do, but I don't, so. Do I recommend picking up this figure? Not really. In fact, I'm probably going to get rid of mine. If you're really a big fan of movie Bumblebee, maybe. Or if for some reason you find this robot mode appealing, hey, go for it. Who am I to judge you? That's Bumblebee's job with those hideous baby blue eyes. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I can muster up for Bumblebee. It's not that exciting to me. So I just wanted to get this guy out of the way, because, I mean, I'm reviewing his friends. Why not give him a little bit of light? Though it is dark, dark light. That nothing but hate, actually. Yeah, so don't get this guy, but, you know, whatever. Yeah. Thanks for watching.